The return of Dallas Cowboys cornerback Trevon Diggs will have to wait longer. Dallas officially chose not to activate Diggs from injured reserve on Saturday. As a result, he has been ruled out for Sunday's game against the Minnesota Vikings. The decision delays what many hoped would be his long-awaited comeback. For now, the Cowboys will continue without one of their top defensive backs. Diggs had been trending toward a return after multiple weeks of rehab. His absence has been felt in the Cowboys' secondary throughout the season. Despite progress, the coaching staff opted for caution. The team believes patience remains the safest approach. That mindset guided Saturday's roster decision. There is now a clear deadline for Diggs' status. He must be activated to the 53-man roster by December 20th. If that does not happen, he will remain on injured reserve. That would sideline him for the remainder of the season. The clock is officially ticking. The Cowboys are balancing urgency with long-term thinking. Every game matters as the playoff race tightens. At the same time, they cannot risk a setback. Diggs' health remains the top priority. Dallas is choosing caution over speed. For Diggs, the wait continues. He remains close to returning, but not close enough yet. Sunday will come and go without him. His comeback remains incomplete. Practice participation raised expectations. Trevon Diggs participated in 3 practices this week. Each session was considered a positive step forward. However, he was listed as a limited participant. That designation reflected ongoing recovery management. It also tempered expectations internally. Diggs himself expressed optimism on Friday. He believed he would be ready to play against Minnesota. His confidence was noticeable throughout the week. He felt physically capable of returning. But the final call rested with the coaching staff. Limited practice status often signals caution. It suggests readiness is close, but not complete. The Cowboys monitored Diggs carefully. Every rep was evaluated. No unnecessary risks were taken. The coaching staff needed to see consistency, not just flashes of readiness, but sustained comfort in movement and reaction. That consistency was the deciding factor, and it ultimately fell short of the standard required. While the optimism was real, restraint prevailed. Dallas chose to wait rather than rush. The long-term implications outweighed the short-term need. That philosophy guided the final decision. Diggs remained on injured reserve. Brian Schottenheimer explains the decision. Head coach Brian Schottenheimer addressed Diggs' status earlier in the week. He made it clear that readiness involves more than health alone. Consistency in every aspect is required to return. That includes physical and mental readiness. Diggs had not fully cleared that threshold. He's still in the ramp-up period, Schottenheimer explained. The coach emphasized that Diggs feels healthy. He also acknowledged Diggs' strong desire to play. However, desire alone cannot determine availability. The team must act in everyone's best interest. Schottenheimer stressed the importance of mental sharpness. Missing time affects more than the body. Defensive schemes evolve. Personnel changes occur. Reintegration requires adjustment and awareness. There are also new faces in the huddle. Communication takes time to rebuild. Trust must be reestablished on the field. Those factors cannot be rushed. The staff is accounting for all of them. The decision reflects a holistic approach. Health, readiness, and team success are intertwined. Schottenheimer's message was clear and measured. Patience remains the guiding principle. Diggs' return must be complete, not rushed. Last game played dates back to October. Diggs has not appeared in a game since October 12th. That outing came in a 30-27 loss to the Carolina Panthers. It marked his final appearance of the season so far. Since then, his recovery has been ongoing. The gap has grown longer than initially expected. The injury situation has been complex. Diggs suffered a concussion in an at-home accident. That incident contributed to his absence. Shortly afterward, he was placed on injured reserve. The move allowed him additional recovery time. Beyond the concussion, knee concerns also factored in. The Cowboys wanted to protect his right knee. Rest became a priority. The team opted for caution over risk. That choice extended his time away. October 25th officially marked his IR placement. Since then, he has been working behind the scenes. Rehab, conditioning, and gradual practice followed. Each step was carefully monitored. The process has been deliberate. Time away has created challenges. Game speed cannot be fully simulated. Confidence takes time to rebuild. The Cowboys are aware of that reality. They want Diggs fully ready when he returns. A history of knee surgeries adds complexity. Diggs' medical history is significant. In 2023, he tore his anterior cruciate ligament. That injury required surgery. It marked a major setback in his career. Recovery was long and demanding. A second procedure followed in January. This time, it involved a chondral tissue graft. The surgery addressed cartilage issues in his left knee. It was another serious medical intervention. That history adds caution to every decision. Multiple surgeries require careful management. The body needs time to fully respond. Rushing increases the risk of setbacks. The Cowboys understand that clearly. They are not willing to gamble. Even when a player feels ready, data matters. Medical evaluations guide decisions. Strength, balance, and stability are measured. Nothing is left to guesswork. Diggs' case is handled meticulously. That background explains Dallas' conservative approach. The investment in Diggs is significant. So is his importance to the defense. Protecting his long-term health is critical. Patience remains the safest path. Diggs has played in 6 games this season. His statistical output has been modest. He recorded 20 tackles during that span. He also added 1 tackle for loss. Additionally, he registered 2 quarterback pressures. Notably absent are turnovers. Diggs has not recorded an interception this year. He also has no pass deflections credited. Those numbers contrast sharply with his reputation. They reflect a disrupted season. In previous years, Diggs was a takeaway machine. He earned Pro Bowl honors in 2021 and 2022. During that span, he recorded 14 interceptions. 11 came in the 2021 season alone. That production defined his value. This season has been different. Injuries disrupted rhythm and timing. Limited availability affected performance. Opportunities were scarce. Consistency was difficult to achieve. Dallas still believes in his upside. They view 2025 as incomplete. Health has been the primary obstacle. When healthy, Diggs remains elite. The team wants that version back. A massive contract raises the stakes. In 2023, the Cowboys committed heavily to Diggs. They signed him to a 5-year extension. The deal is worth $97 million. It signaled long-term confidence. Diggs was viewed as a cornerstone player. Since signing the extension, availability has been limited. Diggs has played in just 19 games. That number spans multiple seasons. Injuries have interrupted his continuity. The contrast between investment and availability is notable. Dallas remains committed despite the challenges. They have not wavered publicly. The contract reflects belief in his talent. But health remains the variable. The team must protect its investment. Rushing Diggs back would be risky. A setback could jeopardize future seasons. Dallas is thinking beyond one game. The long-term outlook matters. That perspective drives every decision. The pressure surrounding his return is real. Fans want to see him back. The defense needs help. But caution outweighs urgency. The Cowboys are standing firm. Impact on the Cowboys' secondary. Without Diggs, the Cowboys' secondary remains shorthanded. Depth has been tested throughout the season. Younger players have been forced into larger roles. Experience has been missed. Leadership in the defensive backfield is crucial. Diggs' absence changes coverage strategy. Opposing quarterbacks adjust accordingly. The defense loses a ball-hawking presence. That affects play calling. It also affects confidence. The coaching staff has adapted. Schemes have been adjusted to compensate. Safety help has increased. Corners receive more support. The unit continues to battle. Against Minnesota, the challenge remains significant. The Vikings present multiple receiving threats. Communication in the secondary will be tested. Experience matters in these matchups. Diggs would have helped, but he remains sidelined. Dallas must rely on collective effort. Assignments must be executed cleanly. Mistakes cannot compound. The margin for error is slim. Sunday will test the secondary once again. The Vikings game and the immediate future. Sunday's matchup carries weight. The Cowboys are fighting for positioning. Every game matters at this stage. Minnesota presents a tough challenge. Dallas will face it without Diggs. The decision to hold him out was strategic. It was not based on the opponent. Health dictated the call. Short-term needs were secondary. Long-term stability was prioritized. There remains optimism for a return. December 20th is the key date. If activated before then, Diggs could play again. That possibility remains alive. But nothing is guaranteed. The coming week will be critical. Practice participation will be monitored. Consistency remains the benchmark. The staff will evaluate carefully. Diggs' status will evolve daily. Until then, patience remains the theme. Dallas is willing to wait. They want Diggs back at full strength. Anything less is unacceptable. The process continues. A cautious approach defines Dallas' strategy. The Cowboys' handling of Trevon Diggs reflects discipline. Emotion has been removed from the decision-making. Logic and medical guidance lead the way. That approach defines the organization. It prioritizes sustainability over impulse. Diggs' return is not a question of if, but when. Dallas wants certainty, not hope. They want confidence, not risk. Every factor is being weighed. The stakes are too high to rush. For Diggs, patience is difficult. Competitors want to be on the field. He believes he is ready, but the team must be sure. That balance is delicate. The Cowboys continue forward without him. Adjustments will be made. Others must step up. The defense must hold firm. Diggs watches and waits. When he does return, it will be deliberate. It will be complete. And it will be intentional. Until then, the Cowboys stay cautious. Trevon Diggs' comeback remains on pause.